Hey guys, welcome to challenge number 3. I'm going to try something a little bit different this time. I'm going to combine the two videos together just so it flows a bit easier. So for this challenge here, the goals are I want you to think of this scoreboard and kind of intuitively use it and to read it a bit more effectively. So I want you to be more informed with the decision you make or you don't make. I want you to see the patterns inside of your business. So this organism that you're nurturing and raising now, I want you to kind of see the patterns and learn how your business operates. Now, I also want you to know where you are going. So with the patterns and the things that you see, where do you think you're going, in which direction? Is it positive or negative? And what can you do about it? Know where you want to go so you get to decide what story you want to create for your business. And I want you to use your creative mind. You know, when you started this business, like ask yourself, why did you start? Be very curious, right? Use curiosity to explain what's happened in the past. So, and also use curiosity to challenge yourself to change the future. So I want you to kind of like ponder on these questions. You can journal it down and write it down, but ask yourself these questions. You'll get to know a little bit more about yourself and get to discover things in your business that you didn't even know. So I want you to think the biggest question that you want to ask yourself is, what does all of this data mean to you? So what does total revenue mean? What does total net sale mean? What does it mean on the back end? What do you think it means? Taxes, what do you think the taxes mean? Right? What sort of benefits can you gain? So everything that you collect, think of it as like a resources where you can utilize to grow. People always think, oh, taxes, I got to pay all this back. An example would be like knowing how much GST to pay means like, oh, okay, I have about this much GST to utilize. It gives you a certain leverage in purchasing. Not a lot, but you know, hey, if you're gonna pay back the government 5%, might as well utilize that GST towards something for the business. It gives you just a general number. Whether it's a high leverage point, I don't know. But for me, like I could see it used for groceries. You can cancel out other GST costs. Another big factor is total orders. This is just like a general, very powerful number to know because it tells you like, are you trending more orders per week or lower orders? And what can I do to change that? Skip Uber and DoorDash, right? All these data points, tips as well, and cash, it describes a story. And when you see these patterns, you're able to kind of see what you did in the past and reflect. And then once you're able to reflect, then you can make decisive action to change that right now. Like, what kind of actions can I do in my business to change these outcomes? So I want you to utilize the scoreboard as a way to read and understand yourself and how you interact in the business. And then once you're more aware of that, then you're able to make decisive action and move forward. Okay, so now we're going to go to the bigger picture. So I've gone ahead and filled out a bit more. It's taken a bit more shape now. You can see more numbers, right? I pushed it for 3 months now, so 12 weeks or 13 weeks, I mean. Again, I've labeled this as inputs, so you put the inputs in. Now that you've had all this, it looks like this is trending towards upwards, which is good. There's a slow week in November here, but then it came back at 2,500 here. So whatever happened here could be, like you ask yourself, like what happened there? Is it because at the beginning of the month everybody's paying their bills, you know, or did I not market as much the previous week? Or, you know, and then if you did an action, let's just say you put an investment or you did a collaboration with a foodie and that video got 100,000 engagements, you might have a higher turnout of sales. So there's a lot of factors, right? And that's why, you know, you want to see this data because then you can see like what's actually working, right? So think of it that way. Like you're able to kind of reassess what actions you did this week. And once you find that vehicle, you keep repeating that process. It could be coupons. It could be many things. It could be posting something. It could be talking to someone. There's so many factors. But we live in a day and age now that online digital marketing is very effective. And this week could have been like, hey, I reached out to an influencer, that video popped off, and you basically had 100,000 views on it, and maybe 1% or 2% of the viewers actually came to your store and purchased your products. A lot of things can happen. It's really cool seeing how this data unfolds. Taxes and fees, we just have this here because we can track like how much are we paying in taxes. It's a nice number to know because then it's just sum it all up. You could see, I should move that. Yeah, you have a total of 1,265, right? It's just a nice number to track so you can see what resources I can allocate that to later on. Obviously, right, when we collect taxes, the government wants two types of payments, corporate tax and GST tax. Think of it as like a resources that you can utilize instead of paying back to the government. When you're using these resources, you're circulating the economy. The government loves that too. At the end of the day, the government wins. This is the game that they set this up for us, and we just have to utilize the game and the rules that they've created. So use this towards your advantage and leverage. So why pay the government back when you can utilize it and stimulate the economy? The government still wins, right? At least you're playing to win, not playing to lose. Tips, it tells a story as well too. So you can see how it's trending upwards. I've noticed in the food and beverage industry in our specific market, your tip range would be like 10 to 15%. A lot of things can happen. You can lay it out in 4 tip options, like 10, 15, 20, 25. Some people do like 15, 20, 25, 30. It really depends on how you want to approach this. But I think generally most people like tipping 10%. Don't rely on this number to like build your business. It's just really nice. It's just a tipping culture. You just utilize this to help boost. And then also, I don't know, it's just people like to give, right? And in a way to our company, we like to give others as well too. So every product we give, we try to give way more value than it's worth. So even if people like tip us very generously, our product is still worth way more than what they've tipped us. Like, it's not expected, but it's just nice to track so you can kind of see, like how we've utilized our tips is that we distribute it all to our employees. It gives them a higher wage. It boosts their wage a bit more, and it's really nice. It motivates our team. They're really happy with that. So we've been able to operate and utilize the tips in a way to boost wages. So it goes to the next topic is the cash. You can see cash as well too. I didn't input anything in here. So this is a good way to kind of cross-check to see, like, you can subtract the cash off of the net sale to see if anybody's stealing, right? You can see if it's adding up just to keep it clean. You want to make sure you're tracking everything or you're not losing, like, where did this money go, right? You can kind of review what's happened. Skip, Uber, and DoorDash, these are all food couriers. Obviously, when you first start, it's going to be a bit slow, but things will pick up as you get better. Like, if it's slow this week, and let's just say, we just had a photographer come in and uploaded all of our pictures, and all of a sudden our sales 10x'd. So that tells you, like, putting the effort in and pictures really do help. So, you can see actions in the past that have reflected and given you a different outcome. So just always keep that in mind, like, what sort of actions did I do this week to create this outcome? The more you do that, the more you're aware of what you need to do to make sure your business thrives, gets the resources it needs, and to grow. If your business isn't growing, it's dying. So always think about, and be aware of what I can do right now in this moment. Google reviews, again, this is just like a nice KPI to track. I usually put 5 or 10 a week. And it just motivates me. Okay, this week, all right, if I'm operating only 4 days and I need 5 reviews, today I'm going to get 1 or 2. If I get 2, we're golden. That means tomorrow I'm going to have to get 1. But why play to lose, right? But also, set numbers that you can realistically hit and then reward yourself. Like, create these reward patterns and KPIs to target so you can motivate yourself to hit them, because it makes the game more enjoyable. There's so many ways to make this fun for you. This is just a few ways to kind of make it more like gamified. But yeah, that's one way to approach it. Same with the total orders here, right? Like, did the marketing work? Did it boost more sales? It seemed like it did for this week. We got basically another 20% new customers coming in or old customers coming back. Retention is really important in business. That's a totally different beast itself too, but I want you to start to kind of analyze and reflect on the data that you've acquired, and then write down the story you want to create, and then create the actions to get to those targets. Anyways, I hope this video helps. I'm really new to this. I'm learning how to teach more effectively, and as I'm teaching, I'm actually learning a little bit more on how to communicate it well. If you guys need help with anything, just shoot me a message. I'm planning on doing like a live stream too to kind of go over more. And if you wanted to be a part of this, just message me and I'll set up a live stream, even if it's just one person. I just want to help you guys out and share with the wisdom that I've accumulated and that's been able to help me win in my business. Anyways, talk to you guys soon and reach out to me if you need help. Peace.